and welcome to Out of Our League, the show where we interview cool people doing cool things that are out of our league. Now, today we have an amazing panel of people here. I'm going to go for and introduce everyone here. First up in the top left-hand corner, we have the amazing, it's Erica Amberlina. Erica, what's up?
Ben.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me today.
Love the jersey. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
You excited? You ready?
Very excited. Very ready.
And happy birthday weekend, by the way, too.
Thank you.
Well, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have... Up. What's that?
Erica's bottom right on the recording, but she's top left for you. So it's going to be... Yeah.
There wouldn't be a show if something didn't go wrong, you know? That's okay.
Sure. Instead of announcing where they are, just say what they look like or something. I don't know.
And that person talking there is Philip J. Whitworth. What's up, Phil?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. And Jerdy, I just want to say, you're pretty good.
Nice. Love it.
Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome.
And we have the person that's doing all the producing today. It's the one and only GF2 Cool. It's Gage.
What's up, everybody?
Hey. Doing the Fonzie hands. I love it. And our amazing producer from last week, it's McKenna. What's up, McKenna?
Hi, how you doing, Ben?
I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Nice. Also love ripping the jersey as well. We're all wearing Wild Aces jerseys.
Yay!
Even though we can't see yours, Ben.
I know, that's true. It's true. And our amazing special guest for today, it's the one and only from the Wild Aces. It's Jerdy. What's up, Jerdy?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm pumped.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hell yeah. Pumped to be here.
Hell yeah. So the first question that we always like to kick it off with is really just for the people that don't know, who are you and what do you do?
Oh, gosh. Good question. Well, short story. I'm from Minnesota in the United States. I graduated from St. John's, which is a Minnesota college. December 2019? Like a long time ago. I'm getting old. Anyway, I did FCF, played for Wild Aces, Greg Miller's team, had a great experience. And that was a couple months ago, and now I'm back home. I work at a soil engineering lab, just in the cities, Minneapolis. And yeah, just going through the process of, navigating life after college and in the 20s, trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped up and ready for FCF season 2. I'm very, very excited to see when they start announcing stuff for that. It's going to be really, really cool.
I know. Me too, especially with D's always teasing on Twitter, like big announcement or you guys aren't ready, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, just tell us. Stop.
Just let us know. Give the people what they want.
Exactly. But yeah, those guys are awesome. Nice.
And so at this point, I just want to open it up to the floor for anyone that has questions. So if you want to jump on in and let us know. Oh, McKenna, you had your hand up.
That's me.
Yes, that's you.
I do have a question. Okay, my question is, what do you miss most from being in the bubble?
Oh, that's okay. First of all, FCF was incredible, but like the bubble was easily like the worst part about FCF. Like not being able to go anywhere, always be in the hotel. But what I would say I miss most about the bubble is just the people there. Like there were like great players, great personalities, and then just the staff, the workers at the hotel, and everyone. They're so like nice, down to earth. Like it was a great experience, and it literally felt like home. You go down to the cafeteria, everyone there, like down to the workers and everything. So definitely miss those people. But as far as like the bubble, like being just confined to the hotel, and when it started being nice outside, just had to be in the hotel and stuff. That was definitely like my least favorite part. Oh yeah, I would definitely say just the people there and in the bubble. It was a blast, and they still made fun, and they took very good care of us.
It seemed like everyone was having a lot of fun. I guess in a not so great time, but it was really cool to just see everyone just hanging out and just enjoying bubble life for what it was. I guess it would have been a pretty stressful time, I'm sure, for a lot of people for what was happening outside. But yeah, it was really, really seemed like a really fun atmosphere as well.
It was, and they took care of us. They for example, I guess the ballroom, they turned into the cafeteria, had a bunch of tables and stuff for us, and they put up bags or cornhole, whatever you call it, like where you toss the bags in the hole, and like just a bunch of games for us to like hang out in like a social atmosphere after we were like out of the quarantine phase because that was tough. Just being locked in the room. I mean, it wasn't terrible because like we had food delivered to our door, laundry taken care of. I had my Xbox. So my fiance Brittany, she'd always be like, I don't know how you do it. Like you're locked in your room for 2 weeks. I'm like, it's not that bad. I have like somewhat stable Wi-Fi. I'm playing games like on Netflix. I have food literally delivered to my door. So anyway, but yeah, it was a great experience overall.
Nice. Now, Phil, did you have a question as well?
Yeah, I actually did. So, have you been playing football your entire life? Was that something you grew up doing? And what made you want to play football?
Yes, so I've been playing football as long as I remember, and I guess football is a big part of my family because my dad is a high school football coach at like the town I grew up in. So like my earliest memories are me listening to the radio, my dad's football games with my mom. Like the Starbucks I remember. And like I grew up like wanting to play football for my dad, like under the lights for the Irish. I was our mascot, the Rosemont Irish. Anyway, so yeah, like started with flag football and yeah, obviously just football. The love of football is instilled for me from a very young age, excuse me. And just grew up loving the game. Yeah. So as far as, and then I went to I walked on at Penn State, Division I school in Pennsylvania, and then transferred to a D3 school in central Minnesota, St. John's. And yeah, just, I love playing the game. It's a big part of my life for sure.
That's awesome.
I saw you being very excited there, Erica.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Come on. Me and Mac
I
are
had a
excited
Penn
about that.
State Quidditch jersey on before this that I
A
changed out
Penn
of.
State Quidditch jersey? You should have kept that one on. That's epic. Love it.
I don't have a Quidditch Penn State jersey, but I do have a Penn State jersey somewhere around here. So
I love it. Let's go. We are.
Pennsylvania.
yeah, yay PA.
Now, whenever we get a guest on the show, we always reach out to our community, our amazing community, just to get some questions. So I think, Erica, have you got a question for one of our community members? I think I've got a few that will sort of spit around.
I have a question from Anthony at Bruce Wayne Brady on Twitter. And he said, he has a 2-part question, actually. What was your first thought when you heard about the idea of fan-controlled football? And how different did COVID change the experience besides not having fans at the game?
Well, my first thought when I heard of FCF is, well, my agent presented it to me. He's like, hey, there's this new league. There's a workout coming up that, might be good for you to go to. Anyway, I just thought it was a cool concept. I'm like, it's essentially an in-person live mat and nothing like this exists. It's a pretty cool concept. And to be a part of the inaugural season would be just a cool experience. And one for me coming out of college and having COVID cancel a lot of opportunities for me as far as pro day, rookie mini camps for the NFL and stuff like that. Yeah, I just wanted to play, to be honest. It's been a full year and to have this opportunity, I was like, yes. It's just cool in itself because one, when I heard it was going to be live streamed on Twitch, I'm like, okay, that's a huge platform. And then two, just seeing the team owners, and at first it was Mike Tyson, Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, Mike Tyson ended up not being one. But I was like, okay, those are some pretty big names and just adds, legitimacy to the league and everything. So I was like, okay, that would be cool. And who knows, especially after experiencing it, playing in it. Yeah, I'm really excited just to see the future of FCF because it is so different, just engaging the fans and so many different people. So yeah, it was a great experience overall. And I guess the thing that changed the most, I don't know, because again, FCF is so different and they literally planned back to when they started scheming FCF 6-7 years ago, maybe more than that. They planned to have the basis of not having fans in the stadium. So it's crazy that it worked out technically, for COVID, they no fans. Okay, this is it worked out hugely in their favor. So I guess they were going on this. That doesn't necessarily change as much, but I would just say maybe being in the bubble but at that point, COVID had been around for what, like at least 8 months at that point. So like it wasn't necessarily new to me. I would say just fans like playing in an empty stadium, because that was like one of the first times I played since college where we'd have fans in the stadium. Was definitely different. But I would say, yeah, I guess no fans and being in the bubble and just like literally like to and from practice. That was our outdoor time for the day, is practice, and then back to the bubble in the hotel. Was just a big difference from not having freedom in my everyday life.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is such a unique concept, and I think the other thing that's really cool about it is just having it on Twitch, where people internationally can watch it for free all at the same time. Like it's so much fun. We have watch parties where we all sort of hang out in Discord and just watch it all together, and it's been an absolute blast. So yeah, I absolutely love what they've done with it. It's just so cool. Yeah.
It is so cool, and it's people like you guys that, you know, make the league work and like who buy in and have fun with it. So yeah, just shout out to you guys. Thank you for, you know, like doing stuff like this and just supporting the league, because without literally fans, it's the fan controlled football league. Without fans, there wouldn't be a league.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
There is no control.
Yeah, exactly. No control. Out of control. But yeah, thanks for calling the plays, minus the QB draws. I could have done without those.
Is the reaction kind of a lot bigger than you sort of expected? I mean, it's definitely something I can see being huge, and it obviously is in its first season. It's amazing, but is it something that, did you expect it to be big when they sort of pitched you the idea, or does it blow away all your expectations?
I honestly didn't know, to be honest. I'm like, this is a cool concept, different, and you know, there's some bigger names in it, and it being on Twitch, I figured it's gonna, you know, just got good backing and platform. But when I just heard like the guys, like the guys is in like the personnel talking at the, I guess just in the bubble, like, hey, numbers are up than from what we're expected, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, like that's gotta be good. You know, it's good getting good reactions, feedback, and honestly, like, so like there's a media guy. I'm not gonna say his name. I guess I don't really. It doesn't matter. Anyway, like before, like we run out and do like the what's it called? When they announce your names and we run out of the tunnel, you know, like the WWE entrances. I was always the last one because I was a franchise player. But like as I got up to there, he'd always be like, "There's this many people watching. Like, put on a show or whatever." And I'd be like, that's, like going into a game, that is the last thing I want to know, is how many people are watching and stuff.
No pressure.
Like, you know, I'm like, I don't need to know that. But anyway, like I love it. Like the fans ate it up. People, you know, were committing to it, and then just everyone that worked in the FCF, they were, you know, just phenomenal people, and that made the biggest difference in the league and how successful the league was. So yeah, that was an absolute blast.
The production value was insane as well. Like, I can't believe, I heard about it coming up, but you turn it onto Twitch and then you look at it and it's unreal what they did with it. It's just crazy.
Yeah, you can definitely tell there was a lot of years. Like I was surprised when you said like 7 years, but you can definitely tell that there was a lot of years in planning how this was going to work, because they came out of the gate with straight fire.
Yeah, and I can't remember exactly the number, but they would say like Ray Austin, the commissioner or whatever, he'd be like, this has been in the works for like 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, you know, and that just blew my mind. Like, I've been a part of it for months, and they've been in like scheming stuff for years.
Now, Jerdy, I got to ask, what was it like in the winning moments? Like when when that sort of clock runs down and the Wild Aces have won, like, how did that feel, buddy?
Oh my God. That's the most nervous, like, because like, so what, we were tied at that point, and like I'm like, I don't want to go into overtime, I just want to win it here. And I was even more pissed off because like on one of the extra points I had a bad throw, and like we would have been up had I like thrown in a good spot, you know. So like we shouldn't have been tied at that point, and I was pissed. I'm like, if we go into overtime and like we lose, I'm gonna be so pissed. And I'm thinking this on the sideline. Like when I'm in the game, I don't think that. I'm like, okay, let's go. But like Ed's in the game at that point, so like I'm on the sideline, I can't do anything, you know, and they're driving down, and I'm just, you know, just super nervous. Like flashbacks to college when like I wouldn't be on the field, the defense would be on the field, and they're trying to win the game. And I just hate that situation. I hate not being on the field and not being able to, like, the game being out of my control. So I don't like that. But like the last play, I was like, oh, he pulled it, because like I knew they were gonna crash on Galloway. Obviously, he is MVP, and then he scored it. Yeah, just I don't know what's going through my mind. It was just chaos. I was like, did he actually get in? Is this real? Like, just chaos. Yeah, but it was incredible.
I mean, I was super stressed, as I'm sure a lot of people were. I can't imagine how stressed you were in that moment.
Yeah.
It would be terrifying.
Yeah, but especially like at the start of the game, like the Glacier boys were going off. Obviously, like they're winning, but I like we had scored on pretty much every drive. So I literally like texted Greg at halftime, and I was like tell the fans, because I knew like everyone tuned into, all the Wild Aces fans tuned into like the Kind of Funny Greg Miller's podcast, or excuse me, stream like during the game. I was like, just keep the game plan. We're scoring. We're gonna keep it rolling, because like it's so crazy to me, because technically he's the offensive coordinator, right? Everyone tuning in, calling the plays, is tuning into his stream, whereas I can't tell my coach like in the locker room, hey, let's keep rolling, because like it's not meaningless, because like he motivates us and everything, but like as far as calling plays and the like scheme of the game, like it's meaningless. So I had to text Greg. I was like, hey, just keep it rolling, like don't get down, like don't start chucking Hail Mary, or whatever. Like just do our game plan, do what we do best. And then we ended up prevailing. Defense came with some stops, and yeah, it's just crazy to me, just the concept and everything. But it was a great experience. It was absolutely surreal.
That's awesome.
I have a very infamous moment of your guys' only loss in the entire season, where it was like 8 seconds left on the clock, and I had to go make dinner. So I was like, I got on Twitter, and I was like, yo, that was a great game. It's so awesome that we won, or something like that. And then all of a sudden I started getting posts like, oh yeah, we totally won that. And it was just like crushing to like have that post out in the world that you guys won, and then it was not the truth. The only game was the one I tuned out early and made a post about it before the actual clock had run down.
It was
I
on
blame
the
that-
very last second of the game,
I
right?
blame that on you.
Yep.
So does everybody else. You don't even have to worry.
Yeah. That was a fun night.
Yeah, those were tough. Like, especially because like I still like work out with Trav Daddy, work out with him, hang with him. I don't know if that was a game because we lost to Zappers and Beasts, but that Hail Mary, I'm still like, dude, like, screw you. Like, we had just like had like the last drive, we had the ball at the minute left, backed up on like the 2-yard line. Something that drove down, scored. I'm like, yes, like let's go. Like just won. That was my first game back from my separated shoulder, and then that happened. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I love Travis and Braden who threw it, but I'm like, screw you guys. Like, I was so pissed off. But,
It was definitely that game.
Yeah, it was.
It was that game.
And for the next 2 weeks, I could not escape it on social media. Like, it was posted everywhere. Twitter, it's everything. Travis would post on TikTok. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, LOL, remember this? I'm like it's been weeks. Like I thought this like escaped this. But
I think that was one of the real big clips to make it to ESPN as well, wasn't it? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
like everything. And like we got like bonuses for like our wins too. So as our paychecks, I'm like, yes. Like just got the winning bonus. And it was like when then the other team like ran over and like taunted us. It was like they ran over and just literally grabbed like the bonus from. Oh my gosh, that's so many different reasons, but yeah, demoralizing to say the least.
All your fault, Bill.
All my fault. All my fault. Had I just finished watching the game, it would have been fine. It would have been fine.
Now, McKenna, I think you had a community question as well.
Dinner can wait.
Dinner can wait.
Put it on hold, Phil. Jeez. Now, McKenna, I believe you had a community question as well.
I do. I'm gonna butcher the name. Okay. Nodnarb H at Krebsba2 asks why he wants me to ask you, why are you so bad at rummy?
That's so messed up. So that's my brother-in-law who was doing
You could
yard.
see I saw the disdain in your eyes. Like before she even asked the question, I just saw the disdain. It was so great.
Literally like walking to this room before I was checking Twitter to DM you, Ben, and I see the notification for that. I'm like, come on. Like, one of the only card games I know is 500 Rummy. And yesterday I was playing with Brittany, my fiance. I'm like, okay, like, loser buys drinks. And I just got wrecked. Like, I'm usually decent at it, but in the negatives, just terrible. And then we went over to their house, my brother-in-law, her brother, and again, just I was in the negatives the whole time. You can go on Twitter and see the score sheet.
I have it pulled up. It doesn't look pretty. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can blame Phil for that one if you want to, Jerdy. Do you want to blame Phil for that too?
The worst part is I always have these huge lineups in my hand. I'm just literally waiting for one card. And then it would always be Brittany too. And she's like, "Oh, I had that card," and show it to me after. I'm like, "Screw you!" Like I've been waiting the entire game for that. So thanks for ton. And like she didn't even need it. And so yeah, tough last couple of nights to say the least. And really, I'll bounce back. Don't worry. And I'll tweet it. I'll make sure to tweet it.
There you go.
Yeah. The redemption
It's a payback.
arc.
Exactly.
Oh man. That's just in my. I'm so competitive too. It's literally like even cards. I get like annoyed when I lose in it. It's like I hate it. Like Brit's always like, "Oh, I don't care if I lose. Like it's just a game. Have fun no matter what." I'm like, "Okay, you are never my partner in any partner games with that." I don't know, but yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna bounce back in, Rami. Promise.
I believe it. I believe it.
Thanks, Phil.
Now
You're
we
only
have another-
sucking up to me now because I know you're responsible for the Zapper slot.
Next season, Phil. Okay, next season. Dinner
Next
can wait.
season. Dinner can wait. That should be the Wild Aces hashtag. Dinner can
We'll
wait.
get the t-shirt
Can
printed.
wait.
Dinner can wait.
Yeah. Well, I'll wear it.
Now I've got another community question from community member Hoodie Peaks at the Penny Marbles. Hoodie. The question is, how do you continuously motivate and uplift others without taking a toll on yourself?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's a deep question. Deep.
That is deep. I would say
Take your
I don't know.
time.
Like I always try to just preach like be the best version of yourself. Whatever that is. Like do the little things right on a daily basis. And I don't know. Like I always try to encourage people to like I had a decent amount, like the most DMs in my life, like on all like Twitter, Instagram, like during FCF, and people reaching out, and it's like whatever you want to do, believe in yourself. If you like want to like continue to play football or a sport, but you're not getting looked at, or like you're young, like believe in yourself. I had a kid, I think he was in like middle school or something. Just DM me like, hey, like like I'm a little smaller. I guess I'll use this sports example, obviously, because I played sports, but I'm a little smaller. Like I want to like play football and like, I don't know, like I'm not the best, but I really want to play and keep doing that. And I was like, I think I told him, I was like throughout middle school, like I was the backup in like middle school. Like I was like a smaller kid, and then like I've always been, like throughout high school I was awkward, like lanky, couldn't really grow into my body. But just have faith in yourself and like work hard and do the extra work too, like it's so hard in like especially middle school and high school to like not care what people think of you, or like they judge you and like all the groups and stuff. But like I try to tell, like I have a bunch of your cousins and everything too, but like I told him, I was like just do the extra work, don't like care what like all the outside noise is, and just believe in yourself and keep working, and you will be amazed like where you go. And I guess I'm a firm believer too, and like there's a path for me, and just following the path and having faith. And it's tough for me at times too, because I guess I graduated from college. I was hoping to be in the NFL, CFL, and I've had some opportunities, but like then they're canceled because of COVID and everything. And just keeping the faith. Like I did FCF, had a great experience, And I'm just a firm believer in like following the road ahead of me and that there's a plan for me. And I guess I'm at that stage of trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. But yeah, just continuously believing in myself and different aspects too. Maybe who knows? I won't be like an athlete for like multiple years down the road. You know, I don't know. Maybe I will do like FCF in the future or something. But I guess yeah, just always staying confident and myself and just the person I am. And I guess that's what I preach to, just be the best version of yourself in all aspects, because it is tough and there's always going to be haters no matter what. We just got to tune them out, learn and grow, and yeah, just keep living.
That's awesome.
So that gives me a question. If you could do like your dream job that wasn't the NFL, what would it be?
Gosh, God,
There's freedom.
oh, God.
We're
I don't
asking all the
know.
hard
I think,
questions.
like, it'd be sick to like not like be a pop star or something, but like I am the worst, like so not musically gifted at all. But I guess like realistic dream job, I honestly don't know. I like something where I could travel, live abroad. I've always like my family, I've been pretty fortunate, like where like we would go like on like spring break trips like Hawaii or like stuff in the Caribbean, and like we're on vacation, and I've always thought, I'm like why does this have to be vacation? Why can't this like be my life? Like I'd always have the best experiences like living abroad and something. So definitely something where I could travel and just just kind of have like some freedom time wise. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, I'm at that stage of my life. I'm trying to figure out what to do, and just what I want to do and how I want to live my life. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of a lame answer, but I don't know like what my dream job would be other than like, yeah, maybe a pop or something, but no realistic dream job right now. I'm still trying to figure that out.
To be fair, it was a hard question, so I don't actually mind. That was a great answer. That was a great answer. I mean, it's hard for a lot of people to figure out what they wanted to do, and sometimes the things that you want to do can be ripped away from you. Like for me, I wanted to be a pilot for most of my life, up until I turned 16 and started actually, going through all the trials to get my pilot's license, and found out that I could never be a pilot because I'm colorblind. So, and then so from there it was trying to figure out like, well, what's the next thing that I want to try and do? And so yeah, I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. I'm still trying to make dreams happen. And honestly, if I asked myself that question, I'm not 100% sure what I'd say the dream job would be at this point. I still want to be a pilot. Flying is one of the coolest things. Before I found out that I couldn't do it, I found out that I loved flying. I loved taking control of a plane and having that weird, crazy freedom of no roads, nothing in your way. It was such a cool experience. Obviously, you have a flight path, and you don't want to kill people, but so there's not like a complete freedom, but it's just there's it's like that idea that it's something we're not supposed to do as humans. Like we're not made to fly. We can't stand on the ground and start flying. So it was just always a cool thing. I mean, just organically. I don't mean like you could create an Iron Man suit if you were cool enough. But
One day, buddy.
but anyway, thank you so much.
I was gonna be like, and have hundreds of passengers' lives in your hands.
Yeah.
You're like open road, no roads, open area, or whatever. But yeah.
Bill just takes the plane up, and he's got it coasting. He's like, I'm just gonna go grab some dinner, and just comes back. He's like, what's happening? It's on fire. I had the same thing, Phil. Actually, I went to wanted to become a pilot, and then obviously found out about the color blindness. I'm like, oh, cool. I guess I'll become an electrical engineer. And I'm like, oh no, can't do that either.
Yeah.
You start going through the list, and you're like, oh, actually, there's not a lot you can do.
It's really funny you say that, because my stepdad's an electrician, and he wanted me to apprentice for him. And then when I couldn't tell which wires were which, he was like, nope. Guess we can't do that for you.
Yeah.
On to the next job.
Yep.
Now, Jerdy, I've been wondering what's sort of your obviously schedule around your training. What does that look like for you when you're getting ready for a pre-season? Must be a huge amount of work involved in getting ready for that.
Well, like getting ready for like football season or just like off season?
Oh,
Well, no, over
looking
here,
at
especially
both.
with the sports that we have, like the big sports like rugby and cricket, I know it's a lot more involved with the preseason stuff where you're getting ready to get ready for that season coming up. Would you sort of treat it any differently, or is it pretty much the same for you all year round?
So I get, again, living in Minnesota where it's only nice, like at best half the year, where it's nice outside, we can be outside. So it just changes in that way. I would say, like, for example, like getting ready for like college football, like the off season at the start of the year is more so like heavy, like weightlifting, like lifting, hardcore conditioning, speed training. And then like when you get into the summer, it's more like speed development, faster muscle fibers, like throwing and doing the sport a lot more because it's nice outside, so we can go outside and throw the football, whereas we're not in the weight room. But then like getting ready for like, I guess it was a big transition for me, coming from Division III football and then throwing with like, for example, guys in my agency in the Twin Cities, so like Adam Thielen, who's a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, or Tyler Johnson, who was a Minnesota Gopher, who was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like definitely a speed difference, and like I guess the year after I graduated, just getting accustomed to that speed and getting ready for. I didn't know what was next for me, so just preparing, staying ready for whatever came up, and eventually FCF came up, and I was ready to go. But I guess this wasn't really the question, but like the hardest part of like COVID was just being in that limbo. Like I was training, trying to throw, stay ready, but I had no idea like what was coming. Like I was just trying to stay ready for an opportunity, but I had no idea what it would be. So that was definitely the hard part. But I guess just for college football, because as more so routine scheduled, at that time, it'd always be the summers where it's like, okay, it's go time. Just getting on a routine. We'd stay up at St. John's, which is central Minnesota, for the summer. Just have a schedule, and you'd be like, you literally have a countdown from your first game in training camp. Like, it's this many days, it's go time, like let's crank it up. And just the intensity as it gets closer and closer, it gets more and more intense.
What's a workout for a quarterback like?
Honestly depends on your trainer and your school. I guess obviously the biggest difference is, I don't know, like upper body, like you want to protect the shoulder, so like you don't do like barbell benching, whereas you do dumbbell. And then just as far as like agility wise, like you don't necessarily like do the long sprints and conditioning. I guess at the place where I'm at right now, it's more so like footwork, so like around cones, so, or like ladders and like doing drop backs and everything like that. But yeah, it honestly depends on your trainer, your gym, or your school and where you work.
That's cool.
Nice. Now, Jerdy, for all our special guests, we have one question that we ask everyone. It's in relation to Greg Miller, obviously one of the co-owners of the Wild Aces there. The question is just, how is Greg Miller able to be everywhere all at once? He's hosting, he's tweeting, he's somehow on multiple shows at once. There's been a lot of theories going around. We've had a lot of the Kind of Funny crew come on the show and talk about it. We've had all sorts of great people sort of theorize as to what it could be and how he's able to do it. So I'd love to know what you think Greg Miller is and how he can actually be everywhere at all places at once.
That's a question I want answered. Like I can't keep up with him. Like Instagram, Twitter, like he posts on Instagram, he's out doing something like at a restaurant or something. Yeah, he's on Twitter making these videos. Like the more recent one where I loved his like when his feud with Gino. Like Gino would say he's in a feud with Greg Miller, and then Greg Miller was like, I hate how I constantly have to come on and like put these like kids in their place or something. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. Like even at FCF, like I literally FaceTimed him one time before a game, and he's just like, "Oh, what's up?" Like he wasn't doing anything, and I was like, "I'm surprised you answered." Like I was thinking you wouldn't, you know? And I honestly don't know, but I when you guys find out the answer to that question, I would love to know, and I think everyone else would.
Oh, we're investigating. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, someday.
Sorry, I'm no help.
Someday we will.
Yeah, the scary part is like when, like you said, you called him and he wasn't doing anything and he was probably in like a t-shirt and slacks or something, and then all of a sudden 10 minutes later the game starts and he's in a suit and tie on a stream going, "Hey, what's up everybody?" You know, like
Maybe there's multiple Greg Millers. I don't know.
There's got to be, right?
Triplet. Who
Yeah,
knows? But he literally answered the FaceTime using a t-shirt. He's like, "Oh, what's up?" Like just like in his house, like, "Oh yeah." Like it just seemed like he wasn't doing anything. You know? I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Greg?" Like this is my first time I've had face-to-face contact with you other than like text or anything. But yeah, I don't know. It blows my mind.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
We are going to find out one day, though. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I think my favorite ones are like that there are Android versions of Greg. That's probably my favorite, is, you know, he just has these like complete robotic clones of himself that he's produced and keeps in like a back closet somewhere and just pulls one out every time he needs one. Sometimes he's got as many as 5 out there doing stuff for him.
It wouldn't surprise me knowing Greg. Honestly.
Some sort of dark magic, you know, there's something happening. Now, producer Gage, have you got a question for our guest today?
Sure. Just kind of a like so everybody's been talking about football and stuff, which I know like virtually nothing about. Aside from like the 2 or 3 Super Bowls the Seahawks were in, because they're my home team. It's like the only games I've ever watched from start to finish. But I did watch quite a bit of the FCF and I enjoyed it. But I'm more curious about like the Twitch side of things. Like, how did you decide you wanted to start streaming and stuff like that? Was that just a, hey, I'm bored in this FCF bubble type thing, or was it something kind of predating that led you to want to do that?
I mean, maybe a little bit of, you know, bored in the FCF bubble, but it was more so me wanting to take advantage of every opportunity I could. You know, like I didn't want to like be an FCF and like be soft spoken and not really interactive and like not get drafted to teams or something, because all FCF is, it's like you putting your name out there, you broadcasting yourself, because like, especially me being a smaller D3, like, you know, school guy, like not many people know my name. Like if I didn't start tweeting stuff or post stuff on social media, like nobody would have known who I was, and I probably, you know, might have not got drafted by teams. And like that's all it is. So I was like, I want to put my name out there. I want to get drafted. I want to get on teams, you know, just get exposure and everything. But then also too, like me, like I want to learn new things. Like you guys know me, I had issues still hopping on this Discord. I'm like, my goodness. But like Twitch, like I've always known what Twitch was, but like that was my first like ever like experience, like legit streaming. And like if you asked me like a year ago in college, like I'd be like, oh, like I'd never like stream or something. I don't know. Like all I play is Fortnite. Like I have nothing else to stream. And by the time FCF was happening, like I guess Fortnite kind of lost its clout and everything, you know. I literally streamed Lego Harry Potter because that's what won the vote on my Twitter. I was like, what should I stream? But yeah, just I'd say combination, you know, wanting to learn new things, learn new skills, and then also just that interactiveness, because that's what FCF is and that's what it thrives on. And then also, yeah, you know, the bubble. I'd already watched everything on Netflix, so I was looking for something new.
Awesome. Good answer.
That's
I like
awesome. I think one of the coolest things about the FCF and Wild Aces and all those wonderful people that came together to make it happen is that it made a lot of people that never cared about football care about football. Like, I know a lot of people that had never, just like Gage, had never watched a game before, had never cared about the rules of football, never played football, that actually sat down
I was a god at
because of their...
I just want to put that out there. I was really good at that.
Because, you know, they cared about whoever was managing the teams and putting those teams together in those social media accounts, they got behind the people that were playing and actually started to learn what football was, and it was just a really cool thing to see and watch, and I think that's awesome.
And again, like my exposure to FCF, Greg Miller, like that's my first exposure to kind of funny best friends. But it became very obvious, like very quickly as soon as the season started, that Wild Aces had the best fans because of kind of funny best friends and everything like that. And I love too, like that the FCF, like just like the team owners and how many different audiences they like were able to outreach towards. Like just look at the Wild Aces, like Austin Eckler, okay, NFL running back. Greg Miller, kind of funny. Rachel Lindsay, like, like Bachelor Nation. Like those are three very distinct different audiences. Bachelor Nation, video games, I guess Barber kind of falls into that too, I believe. And then obviously Jack Settlement, but like that's sports as well. And like those are just, that's one team. I thought it was genius how they incorporated all these different team owners and just it branched out across to so many different audiences and everything. But Wild Aces easily had the best fans. Show, we won, and win the championship just because we're all together, inclusiveness, and I was so fortunate just to be one a part of the team, but just like the part of experience and just meeting all these different people. Like that is easily my favorite part about the FCF.
That's awesome.
Awesome. That's so cool. Now, Erica, did you have another question for our guest? Have you got a question that you'd like to ask Jerdy here?
I do. So football, you said it's been a part of your life for a long time. Who is your favorite NFL team?
Okay, so I get, obviously being in Minnesota, you get a lot of heat if you're not a Vikings fan. And I get a lot of heat because of the Green Bay Packers. And before you start hating on me or calling me a bandwagoner, let me explain myself. So my mom is from Wisconsin, and then my dad grew up with like season tickets for the Packers. So like he's been a Packer fan his entire life. So like I was raised a Packer fan, So like I've been to Lambeau Field multiple times when I was little. Anyway, but yeah, they are my favorite team. Grew up loving Brett Favre, currently Aaron Rodgers, and breaks my heart that now he's looking at, says he doesn't want to come back to the Packers and looking at new teams and everything. But yeah, my favorite team's definitely Green Bay Packers.
My little brother is a huge Packers fan. I think he has every Brett Favre jersey that he ever wore. And like he's got a ton of Green Bay stuff. So yeah, I watch a lot of Green Bay games. So
I love it. Let's go. I know. I haven't been to Lambeau for at least like 6 years or something. So maybe I'll go back this season. I was hoping they give me a call or something, but yeah.
I would love to get to Lambeau Field someday. I mean, we have. I'm near Pittsburgh, so obviously I was a Steelers fan for most of my life, but I love watching a lot of the other teams. But actually, the only NFL game I've ever been to was against the Packers. So.
Really? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, you got to go to Lambeau. It's just so much history there, and maybe go earlier in the season when it's not negative. Got to plan a little bit.
I would like to clarify, the only way you're a bandwagoner is if you're jumping on a team while they're winning and only while they're winning, or if you're following a certain player to a different team, because then you're a bandwagoner for that team, but at least you're a diehard fan of the person that you're following, But those are like, I feel like my two clarifications for what a bandwagoner is. So if you've been a fan your entire life, dude, no way. You're not a bandwagoner at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you. I know. I haven't bounced around too much, always been Packers. I actually have a buddy who's like a Notre Dame football fan, like a North Carolina basketball fan, and like just like always is always like, and he's from like North Dakota. Well, I guess fair enough. We don't really have any team, so he does have to branch out. But I know. So I appreciate that.
Nice. And McKenna, have you got any questions for our friend Jerdy here?
I think a question I have is like, what is your workout looking like now? Like you mentioned, like training with Trav Daddy and everything. Like what's it looking like post FCF and whatnot?
Yeah, so for gosh, let me get the month straight. It's been such a blur. So like FCF ended in March. I had my pro day at the Minnesota Gophers. I think it was April 1st, early April. And I was actually supposed to be in that last year, but it got canceled because of COVID. So like, I was pumped to be in it this year. So post FCF, it was just, training for the pro day, which was getting, used to the regular size field after FCF, like different ball, and everything like that. And just like kind of coordinating with like those guys who were going to be in the pro day, like Trav Daddy and then Rashad Bateman and a couple other guys. Just getting on the same page for them of like what's going to happen, what routes we're going to run, and all that stuff. And then after that, it was just, kind of just focusing, one, getting in shape, and then two, like focusing on my weaknesses. So like, again, like in FCF, like I separated my shoulder, so I was trying to build strength back in my shoulder. So like doing rehab, much different exercises, and then just a lot of footwork, kind of speed, mobility, and all that stuff. So like currently I'm at Game Face, which is in Bloomington, or I guess anywhere on the border. But it's an old Vikings facility in Minnesota, so like full field, great training, and having a blast there. Able to throw, lift, run, all pretty much everything. So go there like 4 days a week.
Oh, sounds like fun.
It is fun, especially when Trav Daddy shows up once in a while. He lives he lives in southern Minnesota, so he doesn't come up like every day, but he's up there once in a while. So always good when I see Trav Daddy.
Oh, yay!
Nice. Now, obviously, we've got to let our friend Judy go at some point. This has been an absolute blast. But before we head off, has anyone got any final questions?
I do. So besides football, what's your favorite sport?
It's a player to watch.
Let's go both. Let's get one for each.
Okay. To play would be basketball or beach volleyball. I love beach volleyball. And I guess maybe golf. I suck at golf, but I'm trying to get better at golf. To watch, I would say, track in the Olympics is, I love watching that. If it's not Olympics, maybe like college basketball or NBA playoffs, other than football, because obviously football is first, like you said. But maybe Olympics or soccer when it's the World Cup and stuff. I like the big events. I'm not too much. I don't tune in and like watch every game of every season, But like when it's like the world events and stuff, I always love tuning into those, or like the playoffs and everything like that. So I'd say those.
One more on the same ilk. Video game. Like favorite sports video game besides
sports. Football. Sports video game. I am a huge what did I grow up playing? I guess other than like Madden, because I'm not too much of the sports video games, to be honest. Unless you call NASCAR like Need for Speed a sport, which I don't know. Like Need for Speed probably is a sport. You're driving away from the cops. Anyway, I would say what was it?
That's
it was
typical Monday for me.
MLB. I would say, I think it was 05. It was like Manny Ramirez on the front or something. And I grew up playing that religiously for like years. So like, I feel like I have to say that because I didn't really play any other sports video games other than NCAA and Madden.
Nice. Okay, flip side, video game then. Just straight video game, not sports
video game. Straight video game. Okay, so like, to be honest, like my parents were fairly like strict. So, like I couldn't grow up like playing shooter video games or anything. But like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, I don't even want to know how many hours I logged on that. Like
it was so much fun.
I still play that on the Xbox 360, like over like the newer Battlefronts that came out. So I would say that OG, and then I love the original Call of Duty Black Ops with like zombies and just playing all that stuff. I'm a big Call of Duty Zombies guy. And then obviously Fortnite I loved playing that in college. Don't play that as much now. But yeah, those are usually my go-tos, and then Lego Harry Potter and Need for Speed, because I'm not huge on like the Warzone, train, because I didn't grow up playing Call of Duty because I didn't have Xbox Live. So offline, I literally only played zombies, and whenever I try playing multiplayer now, I get absolutely wrecked. So I don't play Warzone and stuff like that. It's a struggle. But yeah, kind of shot a lot at you there, but those are my go-tos.
That was great. Thank you so much.
I remember playing Battlefront 2 with my mates. We'd just run around playing as Wampers, just like bashing each other and like go flying. It was so much fun.
The one was, for some reason, on my that would always glitch on like my Xbox 360. Like whenever I played like the hunt on Hoth, with the Wampers, like it'd be 50-50. Like it'd go through or glitch, and I'd have to restart the Xbox. So.
Worth it though. Worth it.
Nice.
Such a good game.
The Mos Eisley's Assault with all the Jedi versus Sith.
That was my
Yeah.
jam right there. I loved that.
That's so good.
It was
That's
so
a
good.
classic. I'm actually curious how many hours I've logged on that game. Growing up.
I find it's always best not to look at.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I could have learned another language. It's like,
Yeah.
Does that mean you're a big Star Wars fan? Do you like Star Wars a lot? Or was
I like
it just
Star Wars,
Battlefront?
but like, I mean, like, I'm not like a insane, like, know all the trivia and stuff, but like, absolutely, I love Star Wars.
Don't have a lightsaber hanging in your bedroom.
Not in my bedroom.
Or 3?
I have my Sabine figure right here, and then my lightsaber's on my arms. So
Oh, let's go. Yeah, no, not as hardcore as Erica by any means. But I absolutely grew up like having lightsaber battles in the park with my friends and cousins, and I've seen, I guess I haven't seen Solo, but like other than that,
You
I've
don't
seen
have
all
to.
the movies.
either. I missed that one as
You don't
well.
have to. You can skip it. It's fine.
Like as soon as they started making the new ones, I was like, I don't. But yeah, at the first 6, I've seen all those. Love the Star Wars universe, but although I think McKenna and I can relate here, whereas definitely more so in the Harry Potter world than Star Wars.
A little bit.
I was gonna rapid fire that as my next question: is what is your favorite like movie franchise?
Oh, Harry Potter, hands down. Potterhead, huge Potterhead over here.
So besides Harry Potter, what would you say? Just first movie that pops into your head besides Harry Potter?
I'm gonna say Parts
you
of the
love.
Caribbean, just because you said franchise, and franchises on my mind. I love the Parts of the Caribbean.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
I just love Phil's line of questioning. It's like, okay, so now besides Harry Potter and Pirates of the Caribbean, what's your favorite franchise? Just keep going down the list.
we always say it's a
Rapid
friendly
fire,
interrogation,
Yeah, friendly interrogation.
Exactly.
Alrighty, and any other final questions for our amazing guest here?
I think
we're good.
everyone else
I
is
think I'm done.
silent there.
Awesome.
Yep.
If you
Well,
are,
thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
I
wait,
have one more thing.
Is there?
I was just gonna say, if you are ever curious about jumping into the Warzone one of these days, Ben and I would love to have you.
We don't take it too seriously, but we're just
and
down to have fun.
It's usually me
Playgrounds.
screaming at the TV because of lag or somebody kills me, and it's just me raging really hard and then immediately going, okay, so there's a guy over there. So how was your just instant flip where I'm just like, I'm in super pissy mode, and then, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun, guys. Let's do another one.
Gage is in heaven and hell while he's playing Warzone. That's how it works.
Hey, if I ever hop in, I'll hit you guys up, but obviously I will need to be carried super hardcore.
Sounds good.
I actually did have one last thing. First, I just wanted to ask. This is a fun question. How are you?
How am I?
Yeah, how's your
At the
life right now?
moment-
How are things?
At the moment, fantastic.
Besides Rummy, of course.
Oh, why do you have to bring that up? Now I'm like here, I'm back down to here.
Sorry.
But no, it's great, especially like I guess being in Minnesota, a super cold state. Like it's going to be summer. Like just your mood uplifts so much. I'm very fortunate. Like I'm engaged to Brittany, have a great family, great support system. Currently living in Northeast Minneapolis, and yeah, loving life despite trying to navigate and figure out what the hell I want to do, with my life. Definitely some stress and nerves, but I'm in a great place, mentally. And yeah, I just loving life and trying to make the most of it.
And then the last thing that I want to say is there any wisdom you wanted to depart on people, to throw down, to give out to just the listeners and people watching? Something that you learned recently. Who knows?
Ooh, learned recently? Anything specific or just in general?
Just in general.
I would just say, kind of going off what I said earlier, like there's always going to be haters in your life, and just like do what makes you happy and what you love. It might take some time, but you'll find your crowd, you'll find your support system, and screw the haters. There's always going to be haters. Just do what you love, do what makes you happy, be the person you're meant to be, and yeah, just it might be hard, but yeah, just enjoy life and do what you want to do.
Awesome.
It's a great way, I think, to see it out. That's awesome. Thanks. Thanks for that, Jerdy. So let's go off and let's go around everyone and just find out where we can find these amazing people. So first off, Erica, where can people find you?
You can find me at Anvelina on Twitter.
Woohoo! Nice. And Gage, where can
everywhere.
people find you and your amazing producing skills?
Oh, you can find me over on Twitter at GF2Cool. Also Instagram, PlayStation Network, pretty much everything. Same username everywhere. So yeah.
GFTOO, cool. Oh yeah. And Phil, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me at Phil J. Woodward with 2 L's, or at Philip J. Woodward on pretty much everything. I just broke 1,000 followers today, which is crazy.
Congrats,
Thank
mate.
you, everybody. Insane. But yeah, those are the 2 that you can look for, and you'll find me pretty much on anything.
Awesome. And McKenna, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PotterPants212, and then everything that I'm involved in, there's a link in my bio.
Nice. Awesome. And you can also find you at Patch Notes, is that correct? The amazing show that has all the incredible gaming news in less than 15 minutes.
At Patch Notes Vids on Twitter.
Woo! Awesome. You can find me at Please Be Excited. And for our amazing guest, where can people find and follow you, Jerdy?
Hey, Jerdy, dude, on everything.
Nice. And what's your Twitch handle for people that may not know?
Jerdy, dude.
Awesome. That's great. Once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. That was an absolute blast. And that's been today's episode of Out of Our League.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.